So Brent Venables gets his first major win as the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners as four-star quarterback Nick Evers commits to Oklahoma, something we have got to talk about. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited about the prospect of Nick Evers playing quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners, and let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions, though small, are really massive to content creators, such as myself, and both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all that being said, let's talk about this, because this is a major victory for Brent Venables, Jeff Lebby, and the Oklahoma Sooners. Because Nick Evers is a blue chip recruit, top 200 in the nation and a top 10 quarterback. He was once a commit to the Florida Gators, and he was also a victim of the coaching carousel. Because when Dan Mullen was fired, it seemed like an inevitability that Nick Evers would decommit. Anytime you have these top-tier quarterbacks that commit to an institution that may have a offensive-minded head coach, it seems like the natural progression of events that if that head coach leaves, the recruit also leaves. That's just seemed to be the trend here of recently, and you really can't blame these kids. But when you look at what Nick Evers means for Oklahoma, it means a great deal, especially when the Oklahoma Sooners, who are now capitalizing on the chaos the coaching carousel has caused, were once the victim of what the coaching carousel was causing, because they had a mass exodus of talent, and getting in a guy such as Nick Evers is massive, because a top-tier quarterback excites a recruiting base anyways. But when you look at what Nick Evers himself adds into this Oklahoma program, that's where you really have to be excited. You always be excited about a top-tier quarterback that excites other recruits, but it's his skill set that I think should excite Oklahoma fans. Because in theory, at least, if we look at what Jeff Lebby did when he was at Ole Miss, if we imagine that a similar style offense will be carried over, which I don't see why it wouldn't, I think it will look decently similar to what he ran at Ole Miss, that type of offense will benefit a Nick Evers. And that's the exact same reason why I was so curious and so intrigued at the prospect of Caleb Williams in this offense. And that's really why I am real excited already for football to come back and for the regular season of the 22-23 season to be here, so I can see what the yield of this coaching carousel will be. And Oklahoma is no exception. I am incredibly intrigued as to what this offense will look like with Lebby calling the plays. But refocusing a bit on Evers, his dual threat ability is something that in theory will fit into what Lebby wants to do. The Ole Miss offense was really proficient at utilizing a dual threat quarterback and making the defense pay. When you look at what Ole Miss did, I mean, they were really able to generate a lot of offense. Now, Evers being a top quarterback is someone who will excite other recruits, like I said, but the reason why I think you're so excited about this is because Oklahoma lost a top-tier recruit in the quarterback position in the 23 class in Malachi Nelson. And when you lose a recruit like that, I didn't know if Oklahoma would look to address that right now, and I'm very happy they did. Because the 23 cycle is a ways away. And as I've said consistently, when these kids have been decommitting, I'm not worried for the Oklahoma Sooners or for any institution about them losing a recruit in the 23 cycle when there's a year to go before we're even at the early national signing day. You've got a lot of time to make up relationships. Anybody that follows recruiting knows things change at the drop of a hat. And because of that, I'm not worried about a recruiting class that's over a year out when early national signing date for the recruiting class we're currently in hasn't even occurred. That's the class I'm worried about. And so going and getting a blue chip quarterback for that class addresses a lot. And it is a massive win for the Oklahoma Sooners, Brent Venables, and Jeff Lebby. But the long-term thing of this is where I'm very interested in. Oklahoma currently has 13 commits in this class, and when you look at that, I have to wonder, will Brent Venables utilize the transfer portal as the Oklahoma Sooners have done in the past? That's not something Clemson is known for, but it's something that Oklahoma has taken advantage of and had a lot of success doing so. And so when you look at the exodus of talent that happened with your numbers right now, with early National Signing Day being here Wednesday, and then National Signing Day coming in February, Oklahoma has time to make up some ground. But with the transfer portal being there and with what we've seen teams be able to do through the transfer portal, I have to wonder if Brent Venables will utilize it because I don't see a reason why he shouldn't. But I'm very interested in hearing from y'all in that aspect. You know, I asked you at the beginning of this what you thought about Nick Evers, but now I ask you another question. Do you believe Brent Venables will break from the Clemson mold he came from and utilize the transfer portal? And let me know what you're thinking there. That's it for this video. Hop down below. Let me know what you're thinking about the Nick Evers move. Let me know what you're thinking about Brent Venables in the transfer portal and the direction of the Oklahoma Sooners are going under Venables in general. That's it. See ya.